Okay. You still got a few more people coming in, so sorry. Yeah, so as Kimmy stated, the video, this session will be recorded and we will post it to our YouTube page. We had a few issues with it recently, but I think we've gotten that worked out. So the open house video should be available, and then we'll also post this session to YouTube. Give us about 2 or 3 days, but we'll get it posted. So what I'm gonna do is share my screen, or you should already see the Aggie Achieve homepage up. And then what you'll do is click on the admissions tab and then scroll down to the application information section. And then you will click on application and admissions deadlines. Sorry, okay. And then you'll click on sample application. And again, just to keep in mind, our website is undergoing some changes. So we're trying to make it more accessible and user-friendly and also update some information. So right here it says sample application. You will click on that and it will bring up the actual sample application that is pretty much the same as the current application. But here at the top, you will click on this Aggie Achieve application hyperlink. And it'll ask you if you want to open the link, or it may just open it for you, but click on open link. And then it'll say, give you a welcome. Thank you for applying to Aggie Achieve, and give you the acronym, little bit of information about Aggie Achieve. Now, right here at the top, it says applications are due December 1st, 2025 by 11:59 p.m. So it's very important that you get it in by that time. If it hits December 2nd at 12 a.m., we cannot accept the application. So make sure you get it in by that time.
Also, quick note, when you're in the middle of the application, you cannot go back. So if you get out of, you're going to have to redo it. You can't go back to previous questions. It just won't allow you to do that. So I just kind of want to put that out there too.
Yeah, so if you open it in one particular browser, just make sure you complete it in that same browser. So if you open it in Chrome, complete it in Chrome. If you open it in Safari, etc., it will not allow you to go back. You would have to start all over again. So and I would say give yourself about an hour minimum to maybe 2 hours time to complete the entire application. So this gives you some of the eligibility criteria for the program. Again, these are things that we've run through in the virtual open house. These are also on our website. This is actually pulled from the website. So I won't read through all of that, but you can revisit that on the website or the virtual open house. Now here's the application fee. The link is embedded at the end of the application, because what we've seen in the past is some people will go and pay the application fee and never complete the application. That application fee is non-refundable. So it's very important that you complete the application and complete the or do the application fee so that we can take your application submission.
Also, on the fees, I've had last year when I was going through them, some people said, well, they paid the application fee after, because I do send out emails stating I have not received the application fee. And some people will tell me they did submit it, but it'll send you an email like a receipt. Keep that just in case I don't get it. Then you can send me that receipt, which it'll show me that you did pay for it. And so I can use that as your receipt. So just make sure you keep that email and don't delete it. Or if you notice that you did pay it and you have not received a receipt, please email us and let me know so I can address that right then and there. Okay.
This next section right here is talking about references. So family members will not be accepted. So you cannot submit a reference letter, your mom, grandparents, aunt, or uncle. It needs to be someone who knows you. So it could be an employer, it could be, an educator, a teacher, principal, your church member, something like that. But someone who knows you well and that they can submit the reference on your behalf. So this is the link, and you can copy and paste this link. This is at the beginning of the application, so you're able to go ahead, copy and paste this link or copy this link and send it out to your references now. As soon as you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that.
Also, another thing I've seen on the references, make sure they use your full government name, because sometimes they'll use names like, you go by a nickname or something. I don't know who that is, so make sure you just go by your government name. So I know when I link them up, because I create everybody a file, I know who to put it with, and I don't have to try to search.
Yeah. So again, this talks about the fees of the program, and then by completing the application below, the applicant and his or her family have reviewed and acknowledged the fees that are associated with attending Aggie Achieve. The applicant also acknowledges that scholarships and financial aid are not guaranteed, and that if accepted, the applicant and their family are responsible for the fees mentioned below to attend the program. Okay. So this is stating I have confirmed that I read the admissions criteria, including tuition and fees, and I understand the admissions process and expectations for Aggie Achieve. And then you're just showing that, yes, you click on that, and it's showing that, yes, I have read the admissions criteria, including tuition and fees, and I acknowledge Aggie Achieves admissions. And then you'll just click next or the arrow. So here I'm going to put test. But you will, put in your information, first, middle, and last name, your gender. If you prefer not to say, that's also an option. Your race or ethnicity. What is your date of birth? And then we ask that you use the month, date, and year format. So it gives you an example, but please use that format. Your age as of August 1st, 2025. What is your permanent mailing address? So you put all that information here. And then the applicant's contact information. So it's very important that we have the applicant's contact information in this section because we email the applicants. Because you are adults, technically, we should not and cannot be emailing the parents about your application. So it's very important we have your home phone, your cell phone, and your email address. If you don't have an email address, I would say just go ahead and create one, just so you have one ready for the application.
Also on that, make sure you go back and double check on the email
Yeah.
addresses, because when I send things out, sometimes it kicks it back. And if I go through and look at the application and it has a wrong email address, it's very hard for me to try to reach out. So just make sure you double check that email address.
Okay, so you'll put your social security number here. And then here it says, please choose all of the following categories of disabilities that correspond with your current diagnosis. So you will just check off all that apply. I'm just going to check in case.
And if you hit other, please let me know what other is. Don't just say other. Just let me
Yeah.
know what other is.
It asks, are you a Texas resident? And again, we can only accept Texas residents at this time, but please let us know which county of Texas that you live in, so you'll add that there. Are you a U.S. citizen? If you're not a U.S. citizen, are you a legal U.S. resident? Um, do you receive vocational rehabilitation services? If yes, please provide the name and contact information for the VR counselor. And that is for Texas Workforce Commission. You can put that information there. And we won't reach out to them directly, but if you need help to get signed up with Texas Workforce Services, then we can definitely help you with that. But we do like to know if any of the students already have those services. Do you receive Social Security or Social Security supplemental income, otherwise known as SSI? We'd also like to know, how did you hear about Aggie Achieve? And then you just click on the arrow. Oh, well, I guess
It's
it'll
gonna
let
make
me.
you answer.
Mm, okay, let me just. So at least you know that if you don't fill it out, it shouldn't allow you to keep going, but it might, because we have received some half completed apps. I wonder if it'll let me go now. I think these may not. Okay. Maybe it's just the pink.
Yeah, so real quick, your disability, you have to have IDD. Now you can have IDD and autism, but you have to have a diagnosis of IDD. So if you just have a diagnosis of autism, you would not be eligible for the program.
Let's see, what is it having a fit about? You have added text to an selected answer choice or remove the text. What is it talking about that? Okay, so is the applicant his or her own full legal guardian? And if no, please indicate the name of the guardian. Now, we do require that our students do not have a legal guardian. So if you have one, then is the guardian willing or able to remove that guardianship? And we do have students that may have a supported decision-making agreement with a family member, or some have had maybe just a power of attorney for financial reasons or maybe medical. So that's fine. We just need the student to be their own guardian, though. Okay. Now, this is the parent and/or guardian information. So this is where the parent will fill in all of their contact information. I wonder if it'll let me go without. And the emergency contact information here. So if both parents' names are already listed above here, then maybe you could put another relative, like a sibling or a grandparent, aunt or uncle, as another emergency contact name. And then we asked, does the applicant have any siblings? If so, if you could list their names, gender, and age. And then here, why are you interested in the Aggie Achieve program for your son or daughter? So just let us know why you would like your child to come to Aggie Achieve. And then describe the applicant's motivation for attending the Aggie Achieve program. And this is from the parent's perspective. Does the applicant's attitude describe the applicant's attitude toward moving away to college? Describe the applicant's attitude for attaining a job in the community. And again, we just want to know from the parent's perspective, how do you feel that your son or daughter, what is their attitude toward moving away to college? Are they excited about it? Are they apprehensive? Are there things that they want to know? So we just want to know what you know about why your child wants to come to Aggie Achieve. Describe any concerns you may have that would impact the applicant's ability to be successful in Aggie Achieve. Describe your family's preparation in assisting the applicant with the transition to college life. Please describe the types of general supports that are most effective for the applicant to succeed in academic settings. So some examples might include, do they need extended time on assignments or tests, small group support, verbal read aloud of instructions, or visual presentation and organizers, experiential learning. So just let us know what supports work best for the student. Is the applicant involved in any hobbies or extracurricular activities in school or in the community? If so, please describe those here. Is the applicant currently employed in a paid employment setting or recently exited employment within the last year? If yes, please indicate the name of the employer, position and job responsibilities, hours per week that they worked, and whether the applicant has a job coach or any accommodations provided at work. And we don't contact the employer or anything like this. We just want to know the work history, experience, what supports and accommodations are needed, and then what types of jobs does the applicant like. So again, we're asking about the types of supports that are most effective for the applicant in vocational setting. Do they need written directions, checklists, a quiet workspace? Please also note any concerns about prior work experiences or vocational training. And if your son or daughter has not had paid employment, you can also add any volunteer roles they've held here as well. So we'd like to know that as well. Has your son or daughter completed any other post-secondary programs since graduating from high school? So you can list those here. Let me see if it'll let me. No. Okay, has the applicant completed high school? If yes, just put the year of graduation here. And if no, what is the expected date of graduation? Please indicate the type of diploma the applicant received or will receive here. T. Did the applicant have an individualized IEP program while in school? And then if yes, please indicate the IDEA primary disability category for which the applicant was served under the IEP. If applicable, please indicate the IDEA secondary disability category for which the applicant was served under an IEP. Please describe the type of special education assistance the applicant received outside of the general education classroom. So that could be any therapies or supports that did not occur within the classroom. Please indicate the applicant's level of independence of completing academic assignments or homework assignments. So are they able to complete all assignments independently? Do they complete them, but then ask an adult to review them? Or do they need someone to sit with them and complete all the assignments? So direct assistance. And this is asking what type of support services did the applicant receive while in high school? So examples can include occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech and language therapy, assistive technology, and then please describe the duration of services and accommodations needed. Please indicate whether any of these support services will continue while the applicant is enrolled in Aggie Achieve. If so, please note that the applicant is responsible for assessing or accessing therapeutic support services. So we will work with the student schedule to try to make sure that they can still receive those services. But it is on the student to set them up, to schedule them, and to make sure that we're aware of them so that we can fit them in the schedule. Provide a description of the applicant's reading abilities and approximate grade level equivalent, which this may be noted in there, should be noted in their IEP, but please just give us an idea here as well. And again, we want to have an idea of the applicant's writing and composition abilities and approximate grade level equivalent. And the same for the math abilities, including the approximate grade level equivalent. Has the applicant utilized assistive technology such as voice recognition, iPad, etc.? We just like to know what type of assistive technology. And again, we work with disability resources. So if we can help them with getting any assistive technology through that office, then we'll help the student to get those services. Has the applicant had experience with learning through a virtual platform like Zoom or Google or Skype or Teams? So we just want to know that. And then academic skills. So you will go through and just read each of these short statements, and then you'll let us know, does the applicant require full assistance, some assistance, are they independent, or this just does not apply to them at all? I'll see if it'll let me go without doing that, and then just adding additional comments regarding academics. Nope. Analytics. Not sure which one is. So it's not pink.
Probably I'm under.
Hmm. No, shouldn't stop it. Different date, maybe. And at least y'all get to see in real time that if you don't complete this thing is very finicky. So take your time, give yourself time. Please do not wait until December 1st at 11:30 p.m. Because if you have issues like this, we won't be able to help you. But at least you can see in real time, like what could be potential issues, and that you do have to thoroughly complete every single line item in this application. Okay. So now we're moving on to independent living. It's gonna ask, is someone waiting? Sorry. It's gonna ask how much assistance does the applicant need in those areas? So toileting and hygiene. Do they require some assistance, complete assistance? Are they completely independent? So again, you would just read through each of these and just decide what applies to my son or daughter and make sure you fill out each one. Are there any specific concerns regarding independent living? We'll put that there. Please describe if the applicant has stayed overnight from you and or his or her primary caregivers in the last 2 years. If yes, where did the applicant stay and for how long? What level of supervision did the applicant have? Were there any adjustment issues? So you'll put that there. Does the applicant have a driver's license? Does the applicant have his or her own vehicle? We do have some students that do have their driver's license. They do bring their vehicles to campus, so that is fine. We just want to know. Please describe any chores the applicant is responsible for at home currently. Please describe any concerns you may have about the applicant's independent living skills. You'll put that there. And now we're moving on to social skills and communication. So again, you'll read each of these short statements and then just decide um, or bubble in what type of assistance is needed for the applicant. So if it's some assistance, full assistance, independent, or just it doesn't apply. Let me just fill these in. Are there any specific social skills, concerns, or possible triggers for behaviors? You'll put that there. And any additional comments you'd like to add for independent living and or social skills. Now we also ask about the medical history or the primary care physician. So that information will go here. Just, you know. When was the applicant's last medical exam? And again, just put it in the format of month, date, and year. Does the applicant require any assistance with mobility? If yes, please describe the type, or you can select no. Does the applicant have any history of seizures? If yes, please describe the type of seizures, or you can select no. Does the applicant have a chronic illness? If yes, please describe the medical diagnosis. If not, you select no. And if it is yes for any of these, you'll click on yes and then fill it in. So let me do no. Okay. Does the applicant have a history of frequent hospitalization? If yes, please describe. If not, click no. And then here you will list any medications the applicant is currently taking and the frequency of medication usage. And then here just list any allergies. Does the applicant manage his or her own medications and health needs independently? If no, please describe the type of assistance required for administering medications. And again, because we're not medically trained professionals, we cannot manage any of the students' medications. We can't offer any recommendations for over-the-counter or prescription. So the student has to independently manage all of their medications, any special dietary needs. Now, if they need assistance scheduling an appointment with the Butyl Health Department on campus or University Health Services, we will definitely help them with that. We just can't recommend any medications.
And also make sure your questions kind of line up, because there is a question, like a little bubble thing says, can you take medication independently? And then on here, I've had some people say, he needs help taking medication. So I don't know which it is. So just make sure those kind of line up.
Mhm.
Thank you, Bobby. I see you shaking your head.
Does the applicant have any history of aggressive physical or verbal behaviors? If yes, please describe the nature of the situation, including dates. Does the applicant have a history of legal violation, arrest, or probation? If yes, please describe the nature of the situation, including dates. Okay, please have the applicant complete the following questions. So this is the applicant section. And if we notice that the applicant did not fill this section out, we will pull the application from the process. It has to be from the applicant's perspective. So students or applicants, we're going to ask you, what do you enjoy doing in your free time, your hobbies, sports, activities, etc.? Let us know those things. And hint, these questions will probably be some of the same questions that if you make it through to the Zoom interview, these will be some of the same things that we ask you. So this is kind of getting you ready for that Zoom phase. So that's why it's important for the student or the applicant to answer all of these questions because we may ask some of these same questions during the Zoom interview. What do you do really well? And it could be anything. Just let us know that. We just want to get to know you. What is your biggest accomplishment in life so far? So you'll fill that in there. Very important. Why do you want to attend Aggie Achieve at Texas A&M University? The answer should not ever be someone convinced me, my parents think it's a good idea. Well, my parents met at A&M and they got married. That turned out well for them, so I want to come. Those are answers that those are great, but that doesn't show us that you would be a good fit for Achieve or a good student. Because like we always say, our students work extremely hard. They're some of the hardest working students on campus. So they do have a lot of fun, but it's also a lot of hard work. So we really need to know that you want to be here and why. Another important question is what are some skills you would like to learn at Aggie Achieve? So what are some goals that you have that you are hoping Aggie Achieve will help you to obtain or to learn? So let us know that. What concerns do you have? Some examples may be just going to a campus that large. I'm not used to that. I'm a little afraid of that. Those are things that we're used to hearing. But just let us know, what concerns do you have? What overwhelms you or makes you feel anxious? For example, crowds, loud noises, working in groups, schedule changes. And we also want to know, how do you best handle those feelings? When you start feeling that way, what do you do to calm down? Some examples we've seen, or the student may say, I may step out of class and just take like a 2-minute breather, just a little break, and return back to class. So those are things, you just let us know. Another important question, do you want to have a job in the future? If yes, what kind of job do you want? Now, if you don't know the type of job, that's fine. That's what we're here for. We put you in career exploration and place you in different internships. And so we give you the opportunity to figure out what you want to do. But the goal of the program is for you to get a job. So if you don't want a job, you just want to come to Achieve, then again, this would not be the program for you. One of the goals is academics, the other is, getting a job and having a meaningful life post Achieve. So we do want to know that you want to get a job. What are you most excited about learning or doing in college? And it doesn't have to be just with Aggie Achieve. What are you most excited about learning or doing at Texas A&M University? Those are things you can also let us know too. We want to hear those. Is there anything else we should know about you? You can put that there. And then another important section, upload a video of yourself. The applicant is who I'm talking to. We want to know why you want to attend Aggie Achieve. Now, if you're unable to record a video, you can submit an audio, but we do highly, highly recommend submitting a video. And I know sometimes, there's technical issues, but please make sure you submit a video or audio. If you have trouble submitting those, send us an email so that we can figure out an alternate way to get that video or that audio recording from you, but please submit that. So the questions are right here, you know. Answer those questions in your video, sharing a little bit about yourself. Why do you want to attend Aggie Achieve? What do you hope to accomplish by attending Aggie Achieve? If accepted, what are some of your long-term goals for when you graduate from the Aggie Achieve program? Where do you want to work? Where do you want to live? Why would you be the best candidate? Let's see if it'll let me. Okay. So here you'll be able to upload your official high school transcript. And again, if you've not graduated, just submit your current transcript. And then if you're admitted into the programs, please submit the final or official transcript because the admissions office will need that to get you entered into the system. So they need your graduation date. Here you will upload all of your IEP documentation in its entirety. or any other neurological psycho evals, any of those things you can upload here.
And if you have a question on should I submit this, go ahead and submit it. And if you don't need it, that's fine. I'll just put it in your file. But I'd rather have too much than not enough. So just go ahead and submit it if you have any questions about it. So
And so here you can upload the most recent educational evaluation, including the reads or the reevaluation, the Peabody Individual Achievement Test, Kaufman Test, Woodcock Johnson. So any of those educational tests you can upload here. Now, if you're currently undergoing tests and maybe it won't be completed by December 1st, go ahead and submit the current testing that you have. And then once you receive those results or whatever from the evaluation, let us know. You may be able to email those to us, but you can go ahead and submit current testing, even if you feel it's outdated. And again, make sure you submit these evaluations in their entirety. Sometimes we receive reports that will show one of 40 pages and we may get 5. That's incomplete. We need all 40. So make sure you submit all of the pages. If you have a functional behavioral assessment, please upload that here. And then if you have a resume, that's great. Please upload that here. We love to see resumes as well. And if you're admitted into the program, we will take that resume and continue to build on it and update it. So if you have one, go ahead and submit it. Oh, well, I don't have anything to upload. Let me try this. So it should be as simple as that. Just uploading a file. Okay, so FAFSA, that is very important to complete as well because any of our students who apply for a scholarship with Aggie Achieve, the A&M Foundation Office, the donors, they want to know, has that student completed the FAFSA? If you are going to apply for financial aid, you have to complete that FAFSA application. So we highly recommend that you do that if you want to apply for scholarships or the federal financial aid. Okay, so here towards the end, this is where you will see that application fee link. You will click on that link and then you'll pay the fee there. And it should open in a separate tab, so you can pay that, leave this open. And then once you paid it, then you can say, click on I certify that I've paid that fee. And then this is talking about the references. Again, in the event you didn't notice that the link was at the beginning of the application, we also have it here at the end. And so again, you would just copy this link and then send this link to your references. And then you'll click here to say, I acknowledge that I have sent the link to at least 2 individuals to serve as my references. So we must receive a minimum of 2 for the application packet to be complete. You can submit more than that, but just make sure there are 2. So here we're thanking you for completing the application. The decision to offer or deny admission to the program will be made by the admissions. It's a faculty committee in their best judgment and in the best interest of the applicant. Admission will be based on the criteria outlined before and the committee's professional opinion about issues such as the applicant's desire to attend Aggie Achieve and to adhere to the program's policies regarding attendance and participation in coursework and Texas A&M University classes. Just a side note with attendance, our students are required to adhere to Texas A&M's student policy on attendance. So it's very important that you read all of that, you are aware of that, and that you follow that. The applicant's potential to successfully achieve his or her academic and employment goals within the context of Aggie Achieve structure and setting, the applicant's ability to accept and follow reasonable rules and to behave respectfully towards others, considering that Aggie Achieve does not have personnel to supervise students with difficult and challenging behaviors, dispense medications, or provide personal care assistance. So while our students that are freshmen, when they move into the dorm, they do reside in the dorm with a peer mentor, which is a residential mentor, but those mentors do not provide 24/7 support. So it's not like a group home setting where someone is cooking and cleaning, doing your laundry and all those things for you, making sure you get to class. It's none of that. It's really another fellow Aggie student that is providing peer mentor support and helping you to get acclimated to campus. Once applications are received, the admissions committee will review all of the applications and contact applicants for a formal interview. Now, this interview, which is the initial Zoom interview, will occur with Aggie Achieve staff. So this piece will not occur with the faculty committee. All of the applications are encrypted, or we just provide the faculty committee with the IP address. So they actually don't see the videos or anything. They look at all of the data that we collect throughout the application process, and that is what they determine meets eligibility for the program. The admission committee consists of several different professionals from the Texas A&M community, including program staff, faculty, and graduate students. During review, all applications are viewed anonymously and all identifiable information about the applicant and their family is removed. The admissions committee will use a rubric to determine the applicants that should be invited for a formal interview. Formal interviews will be held in early spring. Applicants and their parent and guardian must attend the formal interview to be considered for admission. And the formal interview is the on-campus interview. It's a 2-day interview session, and it's normally held at either the end of March or the beginning of April. So we'll have those dates and we'll let you all know about those, but that's the formal interview. And then the final session is just the applicant, or yeah, the applicant, and it's when they're invited to summer experience.